What's up, everyone? This is Matt Kim at IGN, and we're here at BlizzCon 2023, and we're sitting down with Overwatch 2 Game Director Aaron Keller. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
How's your show so far?
It's amazing. We haven't run BlizzCon since 2019, so just seeing all the fans and the energy here is really exciting.
That's been really cool. So just jumping right into it, Overwatch 2's big announcement during the opening show was not only Manga, the new hero, but also the next two heroes, Venture and Codename Space Ranger.
Yeah, we really wanted to show players as much as we could of what's coming next year. So Manga is amazing, larger than life personality, but yet we showed Venture. We showed early gameplay footage of Venture in our What's Next panel, along with more concept art from Space Ranger. We also showed new game mode that we're releasing next year and a new map for it. Teased even another map that we had, showed a reworked competitive system we're working on, other game modes. It even talked a little bit about what's coming for Battle Pass changes.
Now that's, I mean, I have to say, I was kind of stunned because that's a lot. Like normally the new hero is sort of the big announcement, but we got a lot of new information about this. Is this new for Overwatch 2 as a team?
It is new for Overwatch as a team. We want to be as transparent with our players as possible. We really want to show them all of this. And the reason why we want to do that is we want to rebuild trust, honestly, with our players, for one. And we'd also like to just give people that are really into our game, that played a lot, a chance to see what's coming and what they can look forward to. People, they use games and they play games because they love those worlds, and they have this attachment to them. And we want to like validate that passion by like showing them the things that are going to be coming. They can like look at that and say like, oh, this game is in good hands. I want to be able to continue like putting time and my energy into it also.
Now, I don't think I'm out of pocket to say that in the games industry, you know, typically announcements focus on a single big thing, right? And roadmaps are a little bit new, I think, but they've been a little bit more common in live service games like one that you're working on yourself. Is this something that you've noticed just works better with a live service game like Overwatch 2?
Yeah, I think that there's a few different aspects to this. So it's great to have big marketing beats and these moments where players kind of see new things come into the game. But I think every game out there it's a little bit different from each other. Even every game and every team in Blizzard is a little bit different from each other. We've had moments in the past with Overwatch where we didn't talk to players as much as we do right now, and we really kind of like pulled away. Even as early as last year, there's an example. Before we shipped Overwatch 2, we made an announcement that we were putting heroes in our Battle Pass, and there was a big reaction from our community around that. And at the time, we thought it was best to just be radio silent there, because anything we said, the players would just kind of twist it into something. And we've kind of come 180 from that. Like what we want to do is to be in constant communication with our players and to let them know what is coming, even if it's something that might be taken negatively. We would like to get out in front of it and just be honest with those players. We have a new executive producer on the project. His name's Jared Noyce, and it's a really, really important value to him for us to be transparent with our players. And over the course of this last year, we've put out more information on our game than we ever have. We have a bi-weekly director's take blog piece where I speak to the community about my thoughts on the game. And we put out different blog pieces as well. And then we have moments like this at BlizzCon where we want to show people like really what we're doing. And so what we're hoping is that our players see that like, yeah, we do want to have this conversation back and forth with the community, and we are committed to putting the game out and like what we are working on with the game out in front of them.
And what is the sort of effect of this new transparency policy been on the team? Yeah.
I think we really like it. It's hard for a team to hold on to something, and it's hard to feel like that you're being inauthentic with players. The Overwatch team is a team that's very passionate about the game. It's made up of people that play our game, and so they're also involved with the community. They feel very connected with the community, and anytime there is that moment where there's a little bit of a break and it feels like we're out of sync with them, or that there's something that the community is upset about, it has a really big effect on our morale. And so for us as a team to be able to actually put ourselves out in front of players like that has been really, really great.
I imagine, given, you said yourself that this is a 180 from how it was previously, I imagine that's a little scary, but also very liberating.
Yeah, and it can be scary at times. We don't know always what players are going to think of what we want to show them, and we have had some moments where we've talked about things with the community about what the game is turning into that they might disagree with, right? We launched last October with Overwatch 2. It had a new competitive system in it, for example. And as seasons went by, the community became more and more critical of that competitive system. And it always can hurt, maybe hurt is the wrong word, but to hear the critical feedback isn't something that you always want, but it's so important for us. And so we have been communicating with them back and forth. And it was just today where we unveiled a whole new rework of that system based off of a lot of their feedback. And so, yeah, it can be scary, but then I think it's great for the game, and it does feel liberating to not have to be feeling like you can't be talking about these things. It is the more that a game team can be in line with their community, and that we're both kind of like moving towards the same goals, and that they can see that from the game team, the better it is.
Overwatch as a brand is, I believe, 7 years on.
Yeah, we launched in 2016,
right.
In May of 2016, so we're 7.5 years on.
That is a long time, and that is a community then that has grown up with the game effectively. And so, what other than this transparency, and you mentioned that you're sharing more than you ever have. Have you noticed immediately? It's only been a day that this has been received positively by the community.
There's been a lot of excitement over the things that we've announced at BlizzCon, and there's been a lot of people that have also been surprised at how much we've shown. But if you look back over the course of the past year, I think you can start to see a story emerge of us being more transparent with our community and us trying to be more upfront with the things that we're doing, and for us to communicate more. Sometimes it almost feels like we over-communicate with our community. And I know that we don't always put this much out in front of them, but there was a goal here, and the goal is to let people know that we are building the things that they want for this game. One of the things we said in the opening ceremonies is that Overwatch has never had such clarity of vision about the future. And the future of this game is to continue to build what people love in it. Like, Overwatch is, I think, one of the world's best competitive shooters. And the way that our heroes move in the environment, the way that they rely on each other and their abilities synergize with each other, and it produces this game where every hero feels powerful, but you have to rely on the rest of your team to be successful in a match. That's the heart and soul of what makes this game tick. And so we want people that play that game, that feel that and feel kind of like that magic, to be able to look at what we're doing and say, like, yeah, that's what I want the Overwatch team to be doing. I want more heroes like that. I want the game that I play now to just keep getting better, and that is what we're focused on.
Humanity forward messaging for humanity style game.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is Overwatch, we've always put this message out there that we're a future worth fighting for. We want to be a game that represents people all around the world, and sometimes it feels like Overwatch, the vision for what Overwatch is, especially since I took over as game director, is trying to define what Overwatch isn't, almost more than what it is. And so when we launched Overwatch 2 last October, that was different than the game that we talked about at BlizzCon in 2019. You know, that was just a PvP focused part of the game. It was no longer this big, all-encompassing thing that we talked about. And we even later shifted again and narrowed the scope of that game, and we kept pulling parts of it away. And we came back to something that is similar to the original, but with a clarity of what the game actually is. We do want to represent all these people, but at the end of the day, our game is very competitive. It's very fast-paced, and a lot of people would consider it like intense and hardcore, and we love that about it. And we want to be able to deliver that for players, and so we are focusing on that competitive side of the game to give people more of it. Yes, the whole universe to Overwatch is this very approachable thing, but the game that we're building is a little bit different from that, and I think we've recognized that now, and we are pushing in that direction as hard as we can.
Very cool. Well, you know, I want to congratulate you on such a successful show, and you know, and in this spirit of transparency, and then you know, to dig a little bit more about this clarity of vision. Do you have anything you'd like to share with our audience?
Yeah, I'd love to. I could talk about this stuff all day, but when you look back, or when I look back at the history of Overwatch and some of the announcements we've made in order to be more transparent. The most recent one we did was when we talked to our players about no longer working on hero mode. And when you look at our announcement at our last BlizzCon in 2019 of what Overwatch 2 was supposed to be, that was a big component of it. And so we went out in front of players and told them, like, hey, we want to deliver this to you. And then there was a moment just earlier this year where we talked about no longer delivering that. And a lot of players, I think probably justifiably, felt like that was a broken promise. And we knew when we did that people obviously weren't going to be happy about that. We didn't necessarily have to put it in front of players like that. And we knew there was going to be hopefully just a short-term hit because of it, a short-term hit for like player positivity and morale. But we chose to do that anyways, because we want to be honest with our players. We want to get in front of them that way. And if we could rewind the clock and have the choice to do that again, even knowing the consequences of it. I had the singular distinction for a while of being the game director of the worst reviewed game on Steam for a while. I would still go back and make the decision to be honest with our players. I want them to know what it is that we're making. And I think that's going to be, it's been our guiding light for the past year, and it's going to be our guiding light for the future of Overwatch.
Well, this has been IGN with Aaron Keller. Thank you so much. And for everything else BlizzCon, keep it here on IGN.